The Cantenade. When my mother was a teenager, she lived in one of the suburbs of Manila. One night, she and her friends were telling each other ghost stories. She had a ghost story of her own, but she didn't know if what she had seen was real. Oh well, she decided to throw in one of her own. So here goes. When my mother was about 13, she saw something that to this day gives her the chills. It was late at night and she was sitting at her dressing table, looking at herself in front of the mirror, because that's what girls did. Behind her, a jalousie window looked out to the house beside theirs, with a low perimeter wall standing between the two properties. The wall was probably 5 feet tall. Sometimes, her older brother and his friends would climb that wall to go up to the roof and just hang out there on top. It was normal, even my mom and her friends did it. That night was particularly quiet. Their parents were out. She was busy looking at her face. But something made her glance up. Her window was open, so she could clearly see the perimeter wall in her mirror. She saw the silhouette of a person squatting on the wall behind her. It seemed to be facing her, watching her. She simply assumed it was one of her brother's friends, Gary, the dark-skinned one. They were probably going up to the roof again. Funny though that they seemed to be quiet. Usually, they were boisterous, as teenage boys usually are, especially ones who had just discovered the joys of underage drinking in a home without parents. After just a couple of seconds, she took another look. But there was no one there. She figured whoever it was must have jumped down and was probably out front with the others. She went to the window and looked outside. It was dark and quiet. She went out of her room and saw her brother in the living room. He was alone. She asked him where his friends were. She was surprised when he said there was just him. But wasn't Gary just here? She asked him. No, he said. But I just saw him outside my window, she insisted. What? Her brother looked confused. He told her that none of his friends had come to visit that night. Mom felt her heart jump in her chest. She hurried back to her room, closed all her windows, and drew the curtains. That happened maybe 3 years ago, my mom was now telling her friends. I think I know what you saw, one of her friends said. What was it? My mom asked. What the friend did next made my mom scream her lungs out. Was it sitting like this? Her friend asked. She squatted in front of them, her arms hanging from her knees, just like my mom had seen the creature do. She never told her friends that part. She never described how she saw it, just that she thought she had seen Gary when in fact he never came to the house. But how did you know? My mom asked, her eyes wide open in fear and surprise. Because my aunt had seen it too, her friend replied. Where? Mom asked. Behind our house, her friend said. And another time it was there. She pointed at another neighbor's house. They've seen it too. My mom's heart was racing by then. So what is it exactly? She asked. It's called a cantenade, her friend said. My mom had never forgotten that encounter. Until now, that memory gives her anxiety. I had never heard of a cantenade before. But years later, I researched about it. Apparently, it's another type of aswang. It's a black creature that preys on pregnant women. You'd think it was just a shadow. It waits outside your house, squatting, looking at you. Its name itself means one who watches. My mom remembers that around the time that she saw it, their next-door neighbor had been pregnant. She had not been the target, thank God. But still,